This is the Authentic Dating series brought to you by Ahmad and David,
where we explore what it takes to have a dating life you're excited about.
Hey guys, I'm David.
I'm Ahmad.
And this is the Authentic Dating series.
So just to begin and to remind you that our podcast is all about helping men to better understand themselves and in that way become more attractive in how they express themselves in the world and how they show up and communicate themselves to other people. So instead of coming from a paradigm that there's a certain way that you have to be and that's not how you are, leaving you feeling like there's something wrong with who you are and fixing that. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Good. I was just reading from the script sheet there. So, so all of this is about, really finding yourself and being confident in who you really are and being able to express that to the world. So that's what we're about. And in this episode, what we're going to be talking about is something that David and I have been talking about since 2000 and probably like 7 or younger. Yeah. And it's all about this idea, what we call broken wing theory. And we probably won't make that the title because a lot of people won't understand what that means.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a known term. I remember a friend of mine, a good friend of mine actually, she kind of said it to me in exactly that way, like broken wing theory. So I don't know if it's I will Google it after the episode. Friend. Broken wing theory, where we kind of look for people to fix, basically, in relationships, and we look to find ways to fix those people.
Yeah, and the relationship between the broken wing theory and fixing people is a bit like when you find a bird. I say it's a bit like we're all finding birds outside broken. But if, when people find a bird and it's like injured.
Yeah, there's a movie.
Taking it. Is that a movie?
There was a movie once where someone fixed a broken wing on a
There's many a story. Yeah. And so, like you're taking in and the whole story is about fixing the bird and
then letting them fly away as well at the end.
An important part of broken wing theory.
Yeah.
And so like Dave said, it's like, looking for faults in people and then seeking to fix that as a mode of relating and getting into relationships. So before we jump right in, just want to thank everyone who's been listening. We've been getting more and more great responses on what we're doing. We've now started appearing on other podcasts. It has very organic growing feel to what we're doing.
Yeah, totally.
And it's been wonderful actually, just because we started this with a lot of just concern about what people are going to think about what we're saying.
Totally. Yeah.
That first day where we dropped that the first one on, and it popped up on Spotify, and we're like, oh shit, what are people going to think about?
Listen. We listed down. We kind of talked out all the things that people won't like and the criticism we might get, and then they kind of never surfaced.
Yeah.
It's really normal for how, as humans, we operate. Like maybe it seems that we are some sort of superhumans, but we're just regular people who have concerns and worries and fears.
It's fascinating actually because just more and more, I'm just seeing different people becoming more expressive about stuff they're facing. Like that friend of ours who was recently explaining how he always feels like it's not enough, whatever he's got. He's got to get more, and it kind of makes him a bit anxious. And he's never said that before. We'd never heard him say that. And it's just interesting. Maybe it's our podcast. I think it is.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if he listens. I suspect he might do slightly.
It's just the fact that our podcast is here,
exists.
Just supporting people.
It's putting the energy out.
Yeah. It's that cover picture that no one ever congratulates us on.
Yeah.
It's hard work went into that.
All that pink.
Yeah, all that pink. So, let's get into it. The meat, like I was saying right before, right? So, broken wing theory. And for me and Dave, it's largely been in that dynamic of we meet a woman and we always feel like we need to support or help or even worse, fix.
Yeah, just like how can you make this person better or make their life better? Like I think we all fall into this, like men and women, I can imagine that women have met me in the past and looked at me as a bit of a kind of broken, a bit of a bird with a broken wing, I'm like, he's a nice guy, but he's a bit of a player, especially like in my 20s. I would have been seen as being very, I'm trying to think of the word, like just not wanting to commit. actually. Yeah. And like seeing that, underneath all that would be a great guy to be with. If we just help him get through his commitment issues, then he'll be wonderful. And you know, having that kind of side of needing to fix or even some emotional aspects.
Yeah, and it works both ways, right? It works always. There's like I heard someone, I was trying to think who it was. There was someone saying that recently, and they were making an offhand joke, and it was just along the lines of, oh yeah, there was this guy, and you could just see he was kind of like shy and quiet and brooding, and I just felt like, yeah, I could change him, and he could be, and it works on both sides, and it's just this feeling of, it's almost like you're the wise one, you're the powerful, and you will impress them with, and they will be endearing towards you and love you,
and they will love you forever for doing it.
Yeah.
So it's really like, as we've kind of run around in this particular point here, it's like feeling like you need to fix someone their problems, and it's like, if I just fix their problem or their issue or whatever it may be, they'll love me forever and we'll live happily ever after. It's very hero's journey. You meet a guide.
What's that?
And he helps you slay your dragons. Yeah, the hero's journey.
Oh, I mean, like the wise character. So the hero's journey, in case anyone doesn't know, and I'm presuming a lot of people don't, because it's surprising actually, like a lot of people don't, even though the hero's journey is this concept that pretty much shows up in every single Disney cartoon that has ever been made. It's this like mythological thing about how the hero is hidden and then goes on this whole journey of self-discovery and has to overcome his demons, as David was just saying. And then in doing so, he becomes the fully fledged hero king version of himself.
Along it, he meets a wise man or woman or being of some type. Sometimes in the Disney movies, it's even animals.
Yeah.
And that helps them kind of pacify their dragons and their problems. And then they're able to live into their kingness and their greatness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating. So I mean, that sounds pretty useful from that perspective. But what we're talking about is like the incessant focus and need to be that wise man, to be that all fixing, all knowing. I would have said before that potentially it was kind of like a man thing to do, because we're the men and we need to
fix. It's really being in your masculine, isn't it? It's like solving problems and fixing things.
Yeah, we need to. And also, like, I also feel as much as like we have that fixer side of us, is also like the leader side of us. Like, we need to dominate, we need to lead, we need to show that we are in control.
We know how.
Yeah, exactly. All those things that make us sexy. The knowing and the leading and the being strong and lifting weights.
I can't do that.
No,
I can't lift weights.
No. Yeah, your skinny black arms.
Yeah, I can't lift anything.
Yeah. I don't know why black made a difference. The skinny black arms.
Fucking hell. These Muslims are racist fucks.
Don't say that, mate. It'll get dangerous.
Fatwa.
That's it. Yeah. I was trying to think of the word.
So it's just like realizing, and I guess maybe we'll go into the end of like how to fucking avoid being involving yourself in broken wing theory.
I think it will definitely come out of this episode.
Yeah, it'll become obvious.
So because I mean, I did say at the start we'll do that, so I think we should. So the first thing that so I've really, like, in my relationship now, like, and in all my relationships now, like in terms of my romantic relationship with Chloe, and in general at work, or even with you, and when we're talking.
Have we have a romantic relationship?
No, less so. Less.
What about
romantic.
that one time that we got really drunk?
Don't remember it. I don't remember that.
And that time in the shower in Bali.
Yeah, that was more your doing. that was a time where David decided to run in naked on me as I was drunkenly having a shower. And as I can tell you, I was very shocked. I thought an elephant had come in,
swinging his trunk.
The native. We were in Bali. The native black elephant. So where was I? Yeah. So it was about. So the interesting thing that I've learned, and why I tend to have this dynamic now, is because I realized that, and I saw this to be very true for myself, that whenever I'm trying to help someone, what I'm actually doing is resolving my own I was gonna say tension, but like my own worry, my own concerns about what I have that isn't quite perfect and isn't working well, whether it's like creative pursuits or work or money or fitness or whatever. And it's just like this, it's easy, you know, hence the saying, it's easy to talk. It's easy to go, oh, blah, 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 blah. You should do this or you should do that.
Talk is cheap.
It's funny I say that we're doing a podcast. It's easy to talk.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, but the difference is here though, is like, and we will go into this later, is the difference between supporting and fixing, you know?
That's point number 4.
Yeah. We're still on point number
2
at the moment. So yeah, and that was a profound realization because it saves me a lot of time, and wasted energy and time in just like talking about stuff I don't actually know about and just trying to help people.
Yeah, and it's really easy in your relationship to be like, you know, you should be doing this and you should be doing that and you should be doing X, Y, Z. You should be going to the gym more, blah, blah, blah. But actually, often, and you said this to me recently, AJ, it's like, when you're giving people advice, stop before you start speaking and think, do I need this advice myself? And do I need to go and fucking do that right now?
yeah. Almost immediately. Yeah. Actually, and actually, yeah, that's an interesting point because that is something that it's quite funny. Like whatever it is we're about to tell someone else is probably something that we need to do ourselves, right? Like almost immediately.
It's why, in a way, like our podcast for us is like kind of, I feel like sometimes it's almost like self-therapy, you know? Like I listen back to the episodes sometimes, I'm like, man, that was a good fucking point. I might have to write that down again.
Yeah, you should listen to Dave. There's a lot you can learn from
my own
from what we talk. Yeah.
But it's in that is that often we tell people or advise people how to be and how to live when actually those very things we're telling them are things we need to sort out with ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's probably why we know what they need to do because we've worked it all out. We've just not taken any action to do it.
Well, I would say this, and in defense of our knowledge and podcast and integrity of it, is what's great about what we talk about is we never go beyond what we know. We only talk to you about what we've experienced and what we've done, as opposed to just making shit up.
And saying this is or giving you kind of immutable rules of life and like how this is how life is. Like, you know, I don't think we say very often like you must do this. This is how life is, because actually life is too fluid for that. And I think that's why, you know, you regular listeners that are listening, that's probably why you love what we talk about, because it is very fluid and it can be none of it is particularly personal, but you can apply it to your person. Yeah,
that's essentially the secret sauce. When people say to us like, oh, you make things sound very easy and it's not so harsh and this and that, the secret sauce is actually we've experienced enough to realize that there's no black and white scenario. It's like you got to understand this for yourself. And I think that this is the thing as well. It's like, as David correctly said, it's like, just because we're saying this doesn't mean we're doing this 100% of the time. But the point is like, we're probably doing this most of the time. And for anyone listening, it's like, when we're talking, it's the resonance of particular words in that moment. I'm not expecting people to remember 100% of an episode. No one does, right? But it's like that little, like we get feedback from people and they're like, oh yeah, thanks so much. That's really helped me in my dates around not being so focused on finding the one and just and actually being more open to meeting people.
And just enjoying it more.
Yeah. And that's like, oh, phenomenal, right? We've like spoken about fuckloads of stuff, right? And so different people are going to be learning different things from what we're talking about, including David.
Yeah. I've taken all the stuff into my dating life.
And me. Yeah. I don't listen to the episodes as much. It's not that I don't like hearing my voice. It's just, I'm trying to create all the Instagram bits. That's my focus.
We have different jobs. So
yeah, that point number 2 was about resolving the worries and that you don't have your own shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then point number 3 is like feeling you need to help or fix someone just because this is the only way you can provide value to someone. This is something that I'm actually going to say it again because I think it's quite a heavy one, really. Yeah. It's like feeling you need to fix and help the other person because that is the only way you can offer value in the relationship. Like, I found myself doing this is like it was unconscious for a long time. It became conscious, I'd say. I don't even know. When did we definitely spoke about this at one point. Maybe it was a couple of years ago. I guess, you know, when I was newly single, about almost 3 years ago now. I realized that, you know, I'd meet women and I would talk to them on dates. And after like dating for a little while, I would consciously be like, what can I help them with? What can I add to their life, actually?
What
value? How can I add value?
No, I remember there was a girl that you were dating, and she had her stuff pretty, seemingly together, right? I don't think I've ever met anyone who's really got every fucking thing together. I don't think that actually exists anymore. I may be wrong. If you have got all your shit together, please get in touch.
We'd love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, it'd be fascinating to hear how you got there and pick that apart and find out what's wrong with you. So get in touch. But so you had, but that's exactly what started happening, right? You started noticing soon. It wasn't instant enough, but after some good investigations.
Because I can't remember exactly who it was actually.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, you can give me some indication of who it was. I get it now.
I did a symbol.
You did a special sign.
It was
special sign.
Yeah,
I know.
It's not fair to be,
to be outing me like this.
You or her or
totally. And I remember being like, oh wow, there's nothing I can add to this woman's life. She has everything in her life in the way she wants it to be. And then I realized actually that what I'm adding to her life is just simply being myself in her presence, and that was all that she wanted and enjoyed. And it was quite a profound experience actually at the time, and being because normally I would have been like, oh well, I have nothing to add, and then subconsciously become unattracted to her in some way or found some problem, which is
and I really understand that. Like I really get the core logic, and I had that too to a large degree as well. And it comes under that umbrella of codependency. It's a weird one, but it's like, if you don't need me, then
you're gonna get rid of me.
It's like, you need me, and so I need to be. If I can't help you, then you won't need me. That's what it is,
and then you won't want me.
And it's like, and rather than being, I was gonna say loved, but that's definitely one of them. But being in a relationship, being liked, being loved, just for being you.
And I said this, I think the root of this one is a feeling of worthlessness, like that you don't have intrinsic worth. That only what you can give and you can produce has worth.
It's weird, but we've just hit upon something that I realized as well, like by going on this on this topic of the broken wing. But this is exactly the same thing as guys who focus on money or looks or muscles is one thing, right? In terms of but there's nothing wrong with money, looks, or muscles. But when it becomes the sole thing, is like, I can't get a woman unless I have this. This falls into the same fucking sort of bucket. Is that a thing? Yeah,
lake.
It falls into the same thing.
Box.
As that
vessel.
Because it's the what you just said there. It's the worthlessness.
Yeah, it's a feeling that
weird, huh?
If this might, and it comes up in different ways. Obviously, worth issues come up.
This
in
is a really
ways.
good episode.
This I like this one. I really got into this. Like when you feel that you have no value to offer people, it's like this is a big fixer. This is where you're like, oh, I need to sort out like what's wrong with them. How can I help them? Oh, it might be money. It might be fucking business. Like I can think of some people I've met, and like they'll meet someone and be like, I can help you create a business. And it's like, oh wait,
I think it's the same person.
And it's like, oh, actually, but your actual value is just being you. And they just want you to be you. They don't want you to fix them. Okay, sometimes people want some business out of people, but
this is the thing. I think like in certain relationship dynamics, and by dynamic I mean like the two different counterparties, you can actually get the two different counterparties attracting each other. So you get the one that wants to fix, and you get the one that wants to be
fixing.
Fixed. But then the one that wants to fix can never fix the one that wants fixing, because if you want fixing, you can never be fixed. And then it just all implodes eventually, because so there is that as well, right? Like that's an interesting dynamic, but I think it's a bit more than we have time for today on this very poignant episode. So a bit about the difference between supporting and fixing. But actually, before that, there was just something I wanted to say about because it seems obvious to say it here as well. It's like what's there then in relationships, and what's kind of like an undercurrent of what we're saying here is everyone is a reflection of you. Like everyone that you meet, and it's not like to say that they're a mirror reflection, but rather that whatever you feel is a reflection of what is there for you inside of you. So if you feel that this person needs fixing, then and specifically, let's say it's money, right? I'm just picking out the sky. I don't know who's listening right now, but let's just say that if it's money that you're focusing on, but then there's something about yourself that you feel scared about with money, and now you feel like you need to help other people in order to fill that hole.
Yeah.
And so in that way, they're a reflection. And whatever else it is, like people often try and help other people with their problems in general.
Yeah, being more productive, being better people, being more conscious, whatever it may be.
Less of an arsehole. Yeah. So Dave, what is the difference between supporting and fixing? You had a really good example in the pre.
Oh, yeah. So I was seeing someone a while back, and I really saw she was telling me that she was trying to create an artistic endeavor. And
an artistic endeavor.
Yeah, an artistic endeavor. I think that sounds great, right? And I was like, the old me would have been like, okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want me to read over it? Do you want me to help you collate it and put it together? I would have gone into like, what can I do for you to make this something amazing? And then but actually I kind of stopped and just was like, okay, so what do you need to do? And they were like, need to do this, need to speak to this person. I was like, cool. And I was like, how are you going to create some accountability around that for yourself? And she was like, oh, wow, that's a really good point. I was like, yeah, then, it will happen for you. And that was it. I would ongoingly talk to her about it. I'd be like, oh, how's that going? Because I was actually interested, but I wasn't trying to like directly sit her down and make her do it and fix the problems and as they came along and involve myself in her pursuit, because it was her creation to do. It wasn't for me. It was just simply a case of me supporting her in however I could. And in those moments, it was just having the odd small suggestion, right?
So then what would you say was the difference then in regards to what you did to what you would have done? So what's it like? Let's give it a very clear cut fix versus support.
I think fix is where you take it upon yourself to deal with this perceived issue or endeavor or thing that someone's up to. Endeavor. Whereas support might just be a case of like talking to someone about it and not feeling like you have to be personally involved, or it's your duty to be personally involved in sorting this out.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I think a barometer of that would be a way of like, and I'm talking to you now, the listener, like if you resonate with this and you feel sometimes you get into a fixing mode and you're not sure what to do about that, it's like a barometer of it is actually becoming aware of when you start putting a lot of energy behind helping someone else.
An emotional investment in it as well.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you get upset if they're not listening.
Yeah. You get annoyed if they don't take action.
Yeah.
Like, it could be that, you're dating someone and they're like, oh, I want to write a book. And you're like, okay, cool. It'd be really cool to write a book. And then you start,
I'll help you with that.
Yeah, I'll help you with that. You help them with the book titles and you're doing sessions around, putting the book together and blah, blah, blah. And then one day they're like, I don't want to write a book anymore. And you're livid.
Yeah.
because of that. And it's like, oh, you're trying to solve their problem. And I think it's a difficult one because I'm all for people in relationships and couples doing things that, are called to do in terms of creating. But I think you just need to be very careful in terms of you fixing someone. Like, you're with a partner and you're like, oh, they should create an online business doing something. And then you put all your energy to do it. And then it basically creates the end of your relationship because you're arguing about it or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. So to summarize, what we've discussed today is broken wing theory. Like this whole notion of where we just can't help but find people to date who have something that we want to help them with. We want to fix something.
I mean, to fix them as humans.
Yeah, and it's constant. Like when I say this, you'll notice if this is something that you do or that other people around you do, is when it's just like it's a constant need to be with someone where there's something you can help them with. And if they don't have that thing, like David was mentioning earlier, a scenario where he felt like this girl had nothing that she could fix, and it's almost like, well, what do I do?
Yeah. Like, what's my purpose?
And then noticing, so point number two was, point number one was like not feeling like you need to fix someone or their problems to begin with. Number two was that what this hides is actually this thing that we feel like a concern, a deeper worry about ourselves, that we don't have our shit together, so we need to help someone else. And that way, somehow, I don't know why we do that. Humans are weird, but that's why. And then number three is feeling like you need to, if you don't help them out, that you don't have no value for yourself. So those were the main 3 points, and we gave a difference then at the end between like supporting and fixing, because it's okay to support, and support's very free. And I agree. It's like, for me, the barometer was very interesting, and I think this is a takeaway exercise as well. Not think it is. This is a takeaway exercise, which is for everyone listening, like just pay attention when you're speaking to someone. Are you coming from a place of freely supporting and just going, oh, that's a good idea, or this is an idea, or this is what I would do, and then letting the other person decide for themselves what it is that they want to do and how they want to do it, and just letting them do it? Or do you feel an attachment to really like, and when I say attachment, I mean that you feel emotionally invested.
Yeah.
Emotionally, like all of a sudden, even though it's not your project, it's not your thing, you're just like, oh, I need to help. And pay attention, and especially in your romantic relationships, on dates and stuff, because
dating.
Yeah, like David was saying, it's like where you start to look for something wrong, or you don't feel complete unless there is something wrong.
Yeah, for you to fix, and then you jump on, and that's your way, almost like your way in to be with them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's your keys to the castle. Yeah. So and before you go, don't forget to subscribe, rate and review our podcast. Yeah, we would really love you lots. We'll come and hang out with you and tell everyone how cool you are. Only once you rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast,
because it helps us just get our message out a bit more to people and get seen a little bit more. And yeah, like, it's just free content we're giving out, and we're giving out a lot of free kind of help and wisdom to people who want to improve their dating lives and be a bit more conscious around how they're dating and be more aware.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you want to get in contact with us, which we love and really enjoy, find us on Instagram at Authentic Dating Series. You can find us on Facebook as well at the same handle, at Authentic Dating Series. And also, we've got a meetup that we're now running.
Yeah.
If you go on to meetup.com and you do a little search for Meetup with the Authentic Dating Series.
Correct.
And you'll find us there. Obviously, this is people in London. We're doing a meetup in London.
Yeah, I think what we're going to aim to do is do regular meetups. We've got the first one happening this Sunday.
Yeah.
It's going to be from 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. It's going to be in central London. I'll actually drop the details in the details for this podcast. It makes your life a lot easier. So you have to put that pen down. You don't need to write this down. The details are there for you. The link will be there. Yeah, come along. It'll be really fun. We're very excited. I'm so excited. I can't even talk properly. We're very excited to actually get face to face with people again, and yeah, hear your stories, share our stories, give advice, support, not fix, all of that stuff. So yeah, we're looking forward to just really getting back out there. We, especially after we did that event with Asa from Taylor Matched. Bring your own wingman, that was amazing. If you missed that was awesome. I think we posted a couple of pictures and some stories, and it really gave us that feel for
human contact.
Yeah. So see you soon in person, but for now, ciao.
Ciao.